If you are embarking on a cruise in Barcelona, you will most likely want to know how to reach the port. In today's video, you will find out all the different transportation alternatives that will take you to Barcelona Cruise Terminal. Hola, ¿qué tal? Hello! I am Tony Galvez from Road Trip Spain and Portugal, where we help you plan the perfect trip with practical information and insider tips. The good news, it's very easy to get to Barcelona's cruise terminal, whether you're flying into the city and want to go directly from the airport to the cruise ship, or you've spent the night in Barcelona before embarkation day. And it's easy to get to the port because the terminal is not far from the center of Barcelona. Columbus himself, at the top of his monument at the foot of the Las Ramblas, points the way to the cruise terminal because yes, Columbus doesn't point to the Americas, but rather to the cruise terminal. What a great help, isn't it? Joking aside, let's go to the map to see the precise location of the cruise terminal. To help you find your way around, the map shows the location of the Columbus Monument, which is at the foot of Las Ramblas in the historic center of Barcelona, the location of the W Hotel, and the location of Montjuic Mountain, and almost at its foot, the part of the port known as Moll Adossat, where the large cruise ships dock. The Moll Adossat has 5 major terminals, which in the order in which you will find them coming from the center of Barcelona are known as Terminal A, Terminal B, Terminal C, Terminal D and Terminal E. If you are embarking on a cruise in Barcelona, it will almost certainly be at one of those 5 terminals. But check exactly which terminal your ship will be berthed at in the cruise documentation. The Port of Barcelona also has other terminals such as F1 and F2, which are used among others by ferries to the Balearic Islands. But the large cruise ships all leave from the Moll Adossat and its 5 terminals. And now that we know where the cruise terminal is, let's see how to get there. Let's start by answering a question that many of you probably have. Is it possible to get to the cruise terminal on foot? After all, the distance from Las Ramblas to the terminal is not insurmountable. Look, you can get there, you could, technically you could. Depending on the location of your terminal, it could be a 20 to 40 minute walk. But think about this, the distance is much greater than the picture seems to suggest. You don't know what the weather is going to be like. On a rainy day or a hot day, the walk can be an ordeal. You're going to cross an area of the port that is not pretty. It's not dangerous, but it's not pretty. And there are parts of the road where the pavement is quite narrow and large lorries keep driving through. And you are almost certainly going to be traveling with luggage. It's one thing to walk 5 minutes from the metro to the hotel, quite another to walk half an hour along a port road. Look, I'm sure you've paid quite a lot of money for your cruise, so we don't think that the journey to the port on embarkation day is the best place to try and save a few euros. So our very personal opinion is that although you can walk to the terminals with varying degrees of difficulty, we wouldn't do it and we wouldn't recommend it to anyone with luggage. Only if you were making a one-day stopover in Barcelona as part of a cruise, which would be a real shame, only one day in Barcelona. And if it was a nice day there, yes, you could walk half an hour to the center, knowing that you are going to lose valuable time that you could be spending in the city. The most comfortable way to get to the cruise terminal is by taxi. There is no fixed fare, you will pay whatever the meter reads. From Plaza de Catalunya to the port, you should never have to pay more than 20 euros. If you are closer to the port, you will pay less. The only supplement a taxi driver can charge, as elsewhere in Barcelona, is 430 euros for large taxis carrying 5 or more passengers. If this is not your case, the taxi driver cannot charge you any other supplement. Be careful because the transport of luggage is included in the fare. They cannot charge you for it. And they cannot charge you any extra to take you to the cruise terminal either. There is a supplement of 430 charged when you ask for a taxi at the cruise terminal to go to the city center. But there is no such surcharge when you go from the center to the cruise terminal. If when you arrive at the cruise terminal you suspect that the taxi driver is charging you improperly, ask for the receipt first, see if there is an additional fee, and if so, call a policeman before paying anything. The vast majority of taxi drivers in Barcelona are honest, but we have heard stories of people who have had to pay for luggage transportation and other irregular charges. What about VTCs, as the cars of platforms such as Uber, Cabify or Bolt are known in Spain? In Barcelona, these platforms have many restrictions to operate. The situation is so unstable and with such frequent changes that we don't feel prepared to recommend or stop recommending the use of these platforms. If you are a user of one of them, you can always open the app to see what price and conditions it gives you to go to the port. What if you don't want to walk too far or get a taxi? There is a third option, which is the cruise bus, the port's blue bus. It is a service operated by a private company that takes passengers from in front of the World Trade Center Esplanade to the Mall Adosat cruise terminals. The initial stop of the bus is at Pier C, next to the World Trade Center, very close to the intermediate tower of the harbor cable car. The bus takes you to all the Mall Adosat terminals. It is not a regular service, it only runs when there are cruise ships in the port of Barcelona, and it is going to and from the port until the ships sail in the late afternoon. At the moment, the price of the ticket, which can be bought online or on the bus itself, is €3 the single ticket, €4.50 the return ticket. The bus is not part of Barcelona's public transportation system, and so city transport tickets are not valid on the port bus. Let's see how to get to the initial stop of the blue bus. You will have to walk 5-10 minutes. It's not long, it's safe, but you will have to walk a bit. Take the green metro line 3 to Drasanes station. Inside the station you will see a symbol indicating the exit to take if you are going to the port. It is very well signposted. The exit from the underground station will leave you at the Ramblas Avenue, where you will be looking for the unmistakable silhouette of the Columbus monument. As you should remember, Columbus points the way to the port and to the port bus as well. You will go around the base of the monument and cross the traffic light on the other side. You will turn right and walk along the left side of a very nice building until you reach an esplanade where the initial bus stop is. Buy your ticket and in less than 10 minutes you will be dropped off at your terminal. Not all buses go to all terminals, some go to some terminals and some to others, so make sure when you get on the bus that it will take you to your terminal. The distance between terminals is huge. The bus works very well, but you have to do the maths, because between the price of the metro tickets to get to the foot of the Ramblas and the price of the blue bus tickets, the taxi might not be much more expensive. Let's finish with a tip for those who want to get from the airport to the cruise terminal, but first a word of warning. Experienced cruisers never combine a flight with a cruise departure on the same day. That's because if a flight is delayed and you miss the cruise departure, the damage is monumental and you will have to pay for it, unless you bought the cruise as part of the package that includes flights, in which case the cruise company will be responsible for getting you to the next embarkation point. The only direct transport from the airport to the cruise terminal is the taxi, which has a fixed fare of €39, to which no supplements or surcharges can be added. Any other combination of transport from the airport to the port will require you to use at least 3 different transport lines. You will now see on the screen some recommendations of hotels that we like and that are in the part of Barcelona closest to the port. As always, you will find the details of each hotel in the description of the video. For those who are wondering if it is worth staying near the port because the departure of a cruise, we don't think in the case of Barcelona it is essential. There are not so many hotels near the port, and the difference in the value of the transport is not going to be that big. To sum up, to get to the cruise port you can walk, which we don't recommend you do. You can take the metro, walk a bit and take the blue bus, the port bus, or you can order a taxi to go directly from your accommodation to the cruise terminal. It's your choice. all set for that wonderful adventure on board a cruise departing from Barcelona. We hope you and your companions will enjoy the trip very much. We have already done several cruises departing from Barcelona, a real delight. Your trip to Barcelona, of course, doesn't end here. You will now see on the screen a video that will help you a lot in the preparation of your trip to the capital of Catalonia. Keep watching that video.